Efficiency of half-wave rectifier. So this is a complete block diagram of half-wave rectifier. So in that we are having totally three main components. One is a transformer and another one is a diode, and at last the third one is a resistor, that is a load resistor. So in that complete circuit, heart of this circuit is diode and a transformer. These are the main two components. Okay, so before going to the operation of this half-wave rectifier here, so this is the complete input waveforms of this circuit. So that is AC. AC means alternating current. So this is a output waveforms of this half-wave rectifier. So let us discuss how to get this output. So when we are applying to the input signal, so we already know this is a step down this is the transformer. We are having totally two types of transformer. One is a step down transformer and step up transformer. Here we are using step down. Why? Because we can convert, this is a 250 voltage. This 250 voltage we can convert based on our requirement, either 5 volts or 6 volts or 7. Based upon our requirements, we can convert this AC voltage 250 voltage. So here we are using the transformer, step down transformer. So when we are applying this input signal, so when we are applying the input signal, so this is a positive peak and this is a negative peak. This is a complete wave is called, it is a one complete time period. So when we are applying when we are applying the positive signal, to this primary, this is a primary winding and this is a secondary winding. So this is a transformer, symbol of this transformer. When we are applying the positive peak signal, at the time, so we can denote it as here, based on our understanding purpose, we can represent A and B terminals. So when we are applying the positive peak, see here like this, when we are applying the positive peak signal, the signal should be positive, and here this diode is positive terminal, this is a positive terminal, this is a negative terminal. So when we are applying the positive signal, the positive means this, it acts as a forward bias. Okay, in forward bias it acts as a closed switch. This is a complete closed switch. At the time we can get the output like this. So 0 to pi we can get the output signal. When we are applying the input signal, positive signal, we can get the output like this, 0 to pi. Within the interval 0 to pi we can get the half of the signal. Why? Because it acts as a forward bias. That's why we can get the same output. And the next second one is we can apply the negative signal. So we can apply here negative signal at the time. So A is act as a negative and B act as a positive. Okay, so that time, so this is a negative signal. That means diode is a negative, and so the signal is a negative and diode is a positive. That means it acts as a reverse bias. Reverse bias means this is a open switch. So means there is no current flow through the input side to output section. So that means, see here, so when we are applying the negative signal, here, there is no output here. So again when we are applying the positive signal, that one only is, again when we are applying the positive signal here, at the time we can get the same same signal. Whatever we are applying the input signal, positive signal, we can get the output side. So this is a general structure of half-wave rectifier. So this is complete about the general construction and operation of half-wave rectifier. Now coming to the efficiency of half-wave rectifier. In efficiency of half-wave rectifier, see here, the current through diode, load resistance is given by, when we are applying this input signal, the current is transmitted like this here. So this is a diode current. When we are applying this signal, it should be transmitted through diode, and we can get the signal like this. Here I is equal to Im sin theta. So here we can represent voltage. Here we can represent voltage Vm. So we can represent here current Im. So that current we can mention I is equal to Im sin theta. Here sin means, so this is a wave. This is a wave equation. We can represent it in equation form. So the wave, this is a wave. We can represent it in equation form like this. I is equal to Im sin theta for 0 to pi interval. See here 0 to pi interval. So what we can get the output signal. See here. So this is the general signal 0 to pi we can get when we this is the interval. And next interval pi to 2 pi. Pi to 2 pi. So we can get the zero signal. We can get the zero signal. That means pi to 2 pi intervals. So that is a zero. That is a zero. So we already know where Im is the maximum current, where Im is the maximum current or peak current. So when we can calculate about the Im maximum current according to Ohm's law, we already know V is equal to IR. I means V by R. That means Im is equal to Vm by VR. So this is a small resistance RF. RF means that is a diode forward resistance. RF is a diode forward resistance. Im is a maximum current. RL is a load resistance. RL is load resistance. Now coming to the one by one. So before going to the find out the efficiency of a rectifier, let us find out. We already know what is the efficiency of a rectifier. That means we already know the definition. That is a efficiency of a rectifier means rectifier efficiency, it is a DC output power by AC input power. So when we can calculate about the efficiency of a rectifier, so before calculating this rectifier efficiency, let us find out the DC output power and AC input power. So that's why let us calculate one by one. Here average current or DC current. I average, we can represent average current IAV or IDC. So this is a general formula for average current 1 by 2 pi 0 to 2 pi I into d theta. So when we simplifying this equation, at the time we can use the integrations formulas a to b within the intervals I into d, that is a limits. So we can this integrations we can split like this. Here a to c I into d theta plus c to d. That means so we can write this equation like this. In the form of integration rules we can use here. In the same formula we can applicable here. So write down here IDC is equal to 0 to pi here I into d theta plus 0 to 2 pi here I by 2 pi. So within the brackets 0 to I and I into d theta plus pi to 2 pi into d theta. So now we can substitute the I values from the equation 1. So what is the equation 1 here? Equation 1 is equal to I is equal to Im sin theta. So this equation 1 I value we can substitute in this equation. See here. Substitute I values from equation 1. We already know in equation 1 what is the equation. Equation 1 is a I is equal to Im sin theta. That I value substitute in this equation. So that's why here IDC is equal to 1 by 2 pi 0 to pi Im sin theta d theta. So here only 0 to pi we can get the signal, and 0 to 2 pi there is no signal. That's why that is a 0. So we can substitute the 0 here. So now simplifying this equation, Im by 2 pi. So within the intervals of 0 to pi Im into sin theta. So when we simplifying this equation, Im by 2 pi. So I within the interval 0 to pi sin theta into d theta. Now applying the integration of sin theta. Integration of sin theta means that is a minus cos theta. Minus cos theta is equal to 0 to pi. So when we are applying the limits to this equation, Im by 2 pi is equal to, so minus cos pi minus cos 0. Cos pi means minus 1 here. Minus 1 and cos 0 is equal to 1. So this is a minus 1, that's why here minus 1, minus 1, minus 1 here, minus 2. So minus into minus plus here. So that means plus 2 get cancelled here. So finally we can get the IDC value here. IDC is equal to Im by pi. So it is a make it equation number 2. Now second one is a AC current or RMS current. So coming to the here, AC current is equal to the RMS current. So now find out the AC current. So this is the general formula for IRMS current, means root mean square 1 by 2 pi 0 to pi I square into d theta. What is the main difference between DC current and AC current? This is a square, that means root mean square. That's why here only one difference is there in previous equation and present equation, that is a square root. That means this is the RMS current. Okay, so 1 by 2 pi 0 to 2 pi I square d theta into whole power 1 by 2 here. Now by again we can use this equation, integration equations, by using this formula. So we can split this equation, so like this, according to by using this integration rule. So again here see 1 by 2 pi means here we can split by using this equation. Here 0 to pi I square d theta plus pi to 2 pi I square d theta whole power 1 by 2. Same in previously we can how to do this substitute in I values from equation 1. Here also same, substitute I values from equation 1. I is equal to what here? I is equal to Im sin theta within the same interval 0 to pi, and again we can apply the pi to 2 pi 0. So see here Im by 2 pi here, 0 to pi here, I square m, 1 by 2 pi 0 to pi Im sin theta. So within the intervals only 0 to pi, in the remaining interval here 0 to 2 pi, that is a 0. Okay, 0 to 2 pi there is no signal, that's why 0 here. Now simplifying this equation in simple manner, 1 by 2 pi 0 to pi here I square m sin square theta. Now applying the square here, I square m sin square theta whole power 1 by 2. This is a complete 0. Now again simplifying this equation. So to take common here, I is a constant, that's why to take in outside here I square m by 2 pi, write down remaining equation as usual, 0 to pi sin square d theta into d theta whole power 1 by 2 here. Sin square theta is equal 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2, 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. Here remaining instead of sin square theta here, according to the trigonometric rule here, instead of sin square theta, now substitute this value 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2 into d theta. Here I square m by pi, and now applying this integration to this equation, entire equation. 1 means that is the integration of 1 theta into d theta means that is a theta. Integration of cos 2 theta means cos 2 theta means sin 2. Here to take common here, I square m to multiply the 2 to get 4 here, multiply with 2 into 2, that is a 4 pi here. To take common in outside here, write down outside here, and remaining after that you simplify this equation. Sin 2 integration of cos 2 theta is equal to sin 2 theta by 2. Now again you can apply the limits to this equation. Here limits means pi to 2 pi, that means pi minus 0. Again here sin 2 pi into sin 0 by 2 here. Okay, write down remaining as usually. After that this entire equation is 0. This entire equation is 0 here. Okay, then here what is the value here? Pi minus 0. Entire equation is 0. So that's why here pi get cancelled here. After that you simplify this equation. So finally we can get the RMS value. RMS value is equal to Im by pi 2. This is equation number 3. After finding the IDC value and I average values, so now again we can calculate the AC input power. Why? Because before finding the rectifier efficiency, these two terms are very important here. AC input power and DC output power. This is a DC out. DC is here output power. That's why DC output power. DC output power. AC input power is equal to PAC. That is a PAC is equal to I square RMS RF plus RL. So we already know RMS equal to Im by 2. Substitute that value in this equation. Okay. And next one, this is to give this equation number 4. We are already equation 3 over. The next you can put equation number 4. Next DC output power. So you can represent it PDC, P suffix DC. So here what is the formula? I square DC. Here DC means I square DC RL. What is the IDC? IDC we already know. IDC means in previously this is IDC value. IDC is equal to Im by pi from equation number 2. So now substitute in this equation Im by pi. PDC is equal to Im by 2 pi whole square into RL. Now what is our formula? Main formula is rectifier efficiency. Rectifier efficiency is equal to DC output power by AC input power. So substitute this all equations, equation number 2 and equation number 3 and 4 and 5. Substitute in equation number. Mainly we required here 3 equations, that is equation 4 and 5, and these 2 equations in substitute in equation number 6. This is equation number 6. Now substitute these equations 4 and 5 in equation 5. What is the fourth one? Fourth one here I square M by 2 whole square RF plus RL. So and next this is a PDC, and substitute this value equation number 5 in equation number 6 here, like this Im by pi whole square into RL by Im by 2 whole square into RF plus RL. And now simplifying this equation, RL get cancelled, Im get cancelled here. Write down the remaining equation 4 by pi square 1 plus RF by RL. So when we calculating the 4 by 5 square is equal to 0.406 by 1 plus RF by RL. Here RF is a diode forward resistance. It is a very small value. That's why to neglect this term, write down remaining equation. To neglect this term means that is a 0. So 0, that means when we neglect this term, so write down remaining as usually. So this is the normal oriented. So when we consider into the percentage, neta, percentage of neta means percentage means into multiply with 100. So that means efficiency is equal to 40.6. So this is a half wave rectifier efficiency. So that's why means eta is equal to 40.6 means half of the wave we can get when we are applying the input signal. So like this here we can apply the total signal. So we are applying this here total signal, but we can get the output here only half signal. That means when we calculating we can prove this entire efficiency when we calculating after the this simplification of this equation, entire equations. Finally we can get the 40.6 means half of wave only we can get the output signal. Okay, so that is the main advantages of half wave rectifier means we can get the only half signal. So that is the main advantages of half wave rectifier. Based on our requirements we can use this circuit. So that is the main purpose of half wave rectifier we can use here. Thank you.